Outlook.
And good afternoon, everyone, from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Will it be number 1, number 2, number 3 in terms of snowfall all time here? That's what we're waiting on. We are underway. We've gotten a little bit more than an inch, but we got a long way to go. A long night, a long day tomorrow. A crippling snowstorm underway for many. We'll talk about it here from D.C. Let's jump up to New York, where they're expecting the impacts to move in overnight. Sam Champion, good evening, my friend.
Hey, Jim Cantore, I've been talking to you on Twitter, but it's nice to see you in person. Jim, you picked the right spot. You're going to be right there. There's going to be plenty of thunder snow with this system to carry on. And here in New York was always the big question mark. New York, New Jersey, Long Island, coastal Connecticut, even into coastal Massachusetts. Is this a 6-inch snowstorm? Is it an 8-inch snowstorm or an 18-inch snowstorm? There is brand new information, new snow totals, and yes, we're going to be using the word blizzard, not only for Jim, but for here in New York as well. Alex?
All right, thank you so much, Sam. You saw some of our awesome team out in the field. We're stretched across the east here in studio, and we are here with you throughout the whole weekend, up all night.
Dozens of pizza boxes by Sunday hanging around here.
So much pizza.
Hey, this is Weather Center Live. We're so glad to have you here. We're covering this powerful winter storm, Jonas. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Jonas hurling snow, freezing rain, and ice from Tennessee into our nation's capital. Tens of thousands of people have lost power.
Yeah, this new video into us this afternoon shows you why. Ice, look at that. That's rain that froze on the windshield. Probably some sleet and snow mixed in with that. It takes a while. Boy, those windshield wipers are not going to help. You're going to have to get out and scrape that stuff off. This is what we're finding in Raleigh, North Carolina. Part of the state could see up to an inch of ice. And that could take trees and power lines
And something to remember, if you've got this ice and snow accumulation on top of your car, say Sunday and Monday, before you drive out there, clear it off, because that is really dangerous for the people driving behind you.
Because it can fly off of you. Good point.
All right, well, as I mentioned, we've got live coverage up and down the East Coast this afternoon.
Yep, Jim Cantore is live in Washington, D.C. Jim, start us off, man. What's it look like?
You know, you guys were mentioning the snow on top of the roofs. Do you remember that picture that came out of Buffalo from the storm, I think, last year, where there was like 4 feet on the roof of the car? I mean, and they were driving down with 4 feet cake of snow on the car. I just had a vision of that. It came back to me. So, wow. But you can see what's happening here. Visibilities, they're down. We got the cookie dough on the roads. Obviously, it has gotten real quiet, which is great. That's what we wanted. We really wanted everybody off the roads at about 4 or 5 o'clock, and it looks like mission accomplished for many. People went home early today. I mean, guys, you know, it's a blessing when a storm is advertised so quickly. This is such a far cry from what we had on Wednesday night. Do you remember that? 7/10 of an inch, and it was gridlock. It was great. It was awful. So, you know, we're in a whole different ball game here when something is advertised and focused on as much as a blizzard. I actually think there's a strong case for we do better with bigger storms than we do with little ones, because we don't think those can impact us. But that was flat out horrible, to be honest with you. All right, moving on. As you guys just showed, the airports are literally going to shut down flights. Aircraft's not going to come in. Aircraft's not going to go out. If you are lucky enough to get a flight, congratulations. I mean, really, because it's one of those things where if you A, get to the airport, and B, are allowed to get out on the flight, you know, you're one of the few, because it's not going to be the common ground. We've got thousands of flights canceled over the next couple of days, not surprisingly with a storm like this. We just saw from the Storm Prediction Center here an issued advisory, if you will, for sleet and also snow coming up Interstate 85, Interstate 95. I encourage you to not have any long trips. Don't get on the interstates. All it takes is one jackknife tractor trailer, and you're going to be spending the night out there. If you have to go out, if you absolutely have to go out for a long trip, make sure that tank is full of gas. Make sure that tank is full of gas. All right, guys, looking at the radar here, again, from Washington up into Baltimore, some nice east-west banding. Get used to that. We're going to see that. We're going to see that a lot more common as we go on through the night tonight. That's modeled this out for you as to when we think some of the worst of the weather is going to be, with these totals getting up into the 20 to 36-inch range, depending on where you are, from the Chesapeake Bay or the Tidewater up into Hagerstown and sliding over to southern Pennsylvania. So Baltimore, Philly, you guys are very much in this as well. And then look at the totals around Baltimore. All right, big time, 20-inch storm coming up and through here. Now, what's going to be interesting, Dave and Alex, is as we get overnight and really see the coastal low develop and take over, what type of snowfall rates are we going to wind up with in some of these bands? Is it going to be 3, 4, 5 inches an hour? That is crippling snow. That is the kind of snow that nobody is going to go anywhere. Even the people that are going to be plowing, they may even take the plows off the road with that kind of snowfall rate. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, it becomes very, very dangerous. I mean, you can't see a few feet in front of you.
Well, here's what we know right now. Thanks a lot, Jim. 78 million people are under winter weather alerts. That's 1 of every 4 people in the United States. Wow. 2,900 U.S. flights canceled today. 90,000
people already without power, and we've got mandatory evacuations underway at the Jersey Shore, where we expect coastal flooding. You know, that's kind of a overlooked part of the storm, because everybody looks at those 2-3 feet snowfall totals and goes, well, there's the headline. But coastal flooding from Maryland to Delaware to New Jersey could be major.
Right. Not like Sandy, but Sandy-esque.
Right.
Same
Michael
idea.
Lowry is going to be with us to talk about that. He's our storm surge specialist, and he has been concerned about that moderate to major flood risk.
To major flood risk. And some of the worst is still to come from Jonas.
Yeah, of course, snowfall, and Carl Parker is in the lab. He's tracking this dangerous winter storm. You know, Carl, we've got snow, we've got ice, we've got wind.
Yeah, and over a very large area. And here's a large look at what's going on now. We're showing you the whole storm in this view. We've had as much as 15 inches in eastern parts of Kentucky. We've had 9.5 there in Nashville. We've had a foot at several locations in southwestern parts of Virginia. Snow getting ready to come into the Atlanta metro as well. We've gotten some reports of snow and sleet already. And here you see this moisture that's feeding up from the developing surface low coming up into southeastern Virginia. The snowfall rate's really increasing now in central parts of Virginia. A lot of reports of heavy snow and 1/3 of a mile visibility, and that is only going to get worse as we go through tonight. The winds increasing, as Jim mentioned, full-fledged blizzard conditions going on late tonight along the 81, 66 corridors and right into D.C., and that'll continue through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning as well. More on Jonas coming up in just a few minutes.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
Stay.
More stay per roll.
Sit.
More sit per roll.
Watch me. Roll over. Whoops.
More who's training who per roll. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent. So 1 roll of Bounty can last longer than those bargain brands. So you get more life per roll. Bounty, the long-lasting, quicker picker-upper. And try Bounty napkins.
At the Joseph A. Bank Buy More, Save More sale, get up to 75% off all suits and sport coats when you buy 3, including traveler suits now $199 each when you buy 3. Plus, take an extra 50% off most clearance. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow!
Well, the squirrels are back in the attic.
Mom?
Your dad won't call an exterminator.
Can I call you back, Mom?
He says it's personal this time.
If you're a mom, you call it the worst time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Where are you? It's very loud there. Are you taking a Zumba class?
What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in, and boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend. Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground. Geek Nights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees with rainy conditions. tonight. Thunderstorms early. A few storms may be severe. Low 55. Saturday, partly cloudy and windy. High 62. Winds could occasionally gust over 50 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies. Low 41. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I think what makes the Weather Channel's coverage unique is that we are meteorologists. We know the weather, and that makes a tremendous difference.
Inside every business, long walks to randomly placed printers put productivity out of reach.
It's far too much coffee for one person. Jerry, I bought a ferret, you guys. I am lost. Got some spreadsheets, huh? I gotta get to that printer. Oh, dude, you got 10 minutes? I gotta tell you this amazing story.
Let Brother put the right machines right where you need them, so everyone can work more and wander less, putting productivity at your side.
I'm busy too. It's fine.
I've suffered for 18 years with dry, cracked hands.
In the winter in Chicago, it's dry, it's cold, makes my hands even worse.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry, cracked hands.
My hands feel better.
I finally found relief.
Learn more at O'Keefe'sCompany.com.
Have you tried O'Keefe's?
Jet.com is here. The smart way to save on pretty much anything. It's the biggest thing in shopping since credit cards.
And all you do is sign.
With Jet.com, you can save on pretty much anything. It's the biggest thing in shopping since shopping.
Half a foot of snow. What do? You call a campus snowfall fight.
Heck yeah, that's what they did in Nashville, Tennessee today. This was Trevecca Nazarene University, and it was shortly after classes were canceled for the day. So, of course, you go outside, you throw some snow.
Of course.
Those kids all look like they got A+ in snowball making. Aim, not so sure.
You know, we have live coverage all night tonight as Winter Storm Jonas moves into the Northeast, where there'll undoubtedly be snowball fights, right?
Of course. I think one of our own might be responsible for some of those snowfall fights. Sam, how's your snowball skills?
I got skills, and I will not confirm nor will I deny the fact that I may or may not start a snowball fight at some point during our broadcast day tomorrow. But let's go ahead. What, Alex?
I said I heard nothing, but then Dave said you're absolutely going to do it.
You're absolutely going to do it. That's what I understood.
There may be snow angels involved too. I don't know. Let's see how bad and how long the blizzard conditions last, because this could be a tough one in the afternoon. Let me go over some of the big time headlines that New Yorkers in New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, all these areas that you need to know. Starting at 8 a.m., there will be a winter weather emergency in New York City. Now that means they want you off the roads. I actually think it's going to be a little bit before that. I think we're going to start getting into some snow a little earlier. I think they're going to have to do that a little earlier. There'll be 2,300 sanitation workers ready all night long, ready to go. 1,800 plows, because there's 6,000 miles of streets just in the 5 boroughs of New York City. 600 National Guard troops will be on the ready in case they're needed here. Starting tonight, there are 579 salt spreaders. That's right, tonight, because this area knows you've got to get a treatment on the road, pre-treat these roads before all this stuff starts. They intend to do that. If we get in the 12 to 18 snow range, you've got snow removal issues. That means you have to come in, scoop it with big front loaders, dump it into a truck, haul it to one of the areas that they've got snow melters out. And they have several of those ready to go should we get into those big snowfall totals as predicted at this point. They have it set up so all that melted snow, all that runoff snow, where the trucks will scoop it up, drop it into these tanks, it will melt safely into the sewer system. So that's a good thing. They won't be pushing it right off the coast into the water in these areas. I just want to make sure you know this is a coastal event for this area as well. They're taking very seriously Long Island, even coastal Connecticut, even in Long Island Sound, in that New York State little coastal area there, the Connecticut area there. There will be some coastal flooding, and they're taking this very seriously. In the areas that were damaged by Sandy, we're not expecting waters to go as high as it did in that storm, but we have some areas that are weakened because of that storm. So they've taken the sand, they've pushed it up, they've built a lot of berms and dunes. Staten Island particularly, they've been working on this. They do not believe that they will need to evacuate people from the coastal areas, but they do have shelters ready, and I think that number is about 18, if I'm right, of how many they have. There will be 100 tow trucks, New York, waiting. Now, this you've got to know. Get your car off the street. If it's in the way of the plows, they will tow it. You'll have to deal with it Monday when all the snow's done. You'll be in line, paying your ticket and getting your car back. So they're serious about this. What they want to do is come in here and clean sweep this. When they get 2 inches of snow, they want to start plowing, and they want you off the streets and at home. It's the safest thing. The subway system will stay up and running as we know it at this time. I know last year when I was standing right here, they closed it for a little while, or talked about closing it for a little while. They will not do that. That'll be a last resort if there's a problem with it, that they know that's the way you get around town. So we've got the forecast up for you. Friday night, Saturday night, snow is covering the entire time. We believe sometime around 8 o'clock tonight, we'll start to get those flakes in. Start a little early where Jim was in Washington, D.C., or Jim is. So we know it's going to start a little early here. Look at the totals. Remember, we don't change the bullseye here. New Jersey, that Trenton area, all the way through southern Pennsylvania, into Delaware, the Delmarva, all the way to Washington, D.C., Philly, those are the big snow areas, but we are getting in that 12 to 18 zone in Long Island. You're in it as well. Coastal Connecticut, for you too. Wake up, Rhode Island coast, because we've got some big snow coming for you, and we'll talk a little bit more, Dave and Alex, as we go on.
All right, thank you so much, Sam.
Well, coastal flooding is a huge concern, as Sam talked about. Winter Storm Jonas will slam the Jersey shore.
Well, could we see record flood levels, and how are people getting ready? We're going to talk about that after your local on the 8th.
We brought you here today to get your honest opinion about this new car. To keep things unbiased, we removed all the logos.
Feels like a BMW.
Reminds me a little bit of an Audi. So this car supports Apple CarPlay.
Siri, open maps. Wow. She gets me.
It also has teen driver technology. It even mutes the radio until the seatbelts are buckled.
I'm very curious what it is.
This is the 2016 Chevy Malibu.
And it sells for?
It starts at $22,500.
What? Oh, wow. I mean, all this technology.
That's a game changer.
This year, make every amazing despicable. Wizarding second of your vacation count by staying where the adventure never ends.
Come with me now.
2 theme parks, spectacular resort hotels, more epic than ever. Don't just vacation.
Go with me now.
Vacation like you mean it. Universal Orlando Resort. Go big with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter exclusive vacation package.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in, and boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend. Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground Geek Nights.
Sir, can you step aside?
Sir? Come on, you know who I am. Progressive Insurance. I save people an average of over $500 when they switch.
Did you pack your own bags?
Oh, right, the Name Your Price tool. It shows people policy options to help fit their budget. Crazy that a big shot like me would pack his own bags, right? So, do I have the right to remain handsome? Wait. Uh-oh.
Experience all the fun of a 2-night Bahamas Paradise cruise for the amazing low price of just $109. For $109, you'll enjoy a 2-night Bahamas cruise that includes 5-course dining, spectacular live shows, lots of fun on the ship, and more fun in the Bahamas. Call today on this incredible offer, as this special $109 cruise price won't last. Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100.
When you start linking the people side up to the weather and the science and the data, it makes a real connection and starts, I think, drive home the importance of what we do.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees with rainy conditions. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 55. Chance of rain, 80%. Saturday, partly cloudy and windy, high 62. Winds could occasionally gust over 50 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies, low 41. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Virginia Beach. That's a look at it on the right.
It's not Charleston, West Virginia. It's
Oh,
Virginia.
right, it's not.
They were like, we just got coastal property. Now, there's Virginia Beach, the sun beginning to go down, and also seeing that rain and wintry mix getting closer to you.
You know, that's the only place in the whole state of Virginia where it's liquid coming down from the sky. Raining at Virginia Beach, 39. Freezing rain at Norfolk, 32. And west of there, it's all snow.
Yeah, Williamsburg, Richmond.
Yeah.
Lexington, it is snow, and it's a lot of snow. Well, hey, officials are worried about Jonas bringing severe coastal flooding to places like the Jersey Shore.
Reagan Medji's in Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Reagan, what do you have for us?
Well, we have about an hour and a half of snowfall. So Jersey Shore, the snow is here. Winter Storm Jonas has arrived, and you can see on the ground the snow is powdery, but the winds will be kicking up. And of course, we talk about the beach erosion. We're also going to talk to Mike Monachetti, who is the owner of Mike's Seafood here in Sea Isle City. And what he is doing is prepping for the storm. So what exactly are you doing now?
We've been prepping for 3 or 4 days now. We've been watching the Weather Channel, and we're very concerned about the storm. We honestly think this is going to be a big storm here. We're going to have a lot of water, and we definitely need to be prepared. We learned our lesson during Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, and you said with Hurricane Sandy, the water, what was the water level?
The water level was right up to here in Hurricane Sandy, and we had plywood in the doors, and it kept the water out, but then eventually it rose above the wood and came in and ended up getting in our market and ruining a lot of our restaurant equipment and our refrigeration equipment.
And I see
it was a big loss.
And I see that there's a lot of stuff, everything's
already raised up.
So a lot of people may say, you seem to be riding out the storm. You're going to stay here with your property, and I know we talked about this earlier. Why is it important? If somebody says riding out the storm, why is it important to you?
Just like my mother and father before me and my grandmother and grandfather, this is a 105-year family tradition, Mike's. We've been here since 1911. And like I said, it's a tradition, it's a way of life, and just very proud of Mike's Seafood. And I want to stay here in case something does happen. I want to just try and be proactive and do whatever I can do to save property of Mike's Seafood.
And the history and the legacy that you have here. So you can see that he is, actually, you know what, start doing what you need to do, because I don't want to take up any more time.
No.
I made him wait for all this time. But so this is Mike Monachetti at Mike's Seafood here in Sea Isle City. This is one of several business owners who are trying to do what they can to prevent from Winter Storm Jonas from taking a toll on the business which has taken a toll during Hurricane Sandy. Superstorm Sandy we talk about a lot because it put quite an impact here on the Jersey Shore businesses and, of course, the people who live here. So Mike and Alex, this is what people are doing right now to get prepared. And as you can see, Winter Storm Jonas is already here. Guys, back to you.
Wow. So Mike really has a passion for his work, right?
Right, yeah.
The history and the family and the connection, all
He's
that.
been there for a while, and I'm sure the community feels the same way.
Well, let's get into the lab because a cold front is heading through Florida right now. Could be some severe weather. Here's Dr. Greg Forbes.
Yeah, earlier in Florida, we did have a severe thunderstorm watch that has been canceled. I think probably the biggest threat for any severe weather is going to be coming onshore of North Carolina. Now, yesterday into this morning, we had quite a bit of severe weather with Jonas's warm side, including one tornado now in Mississippi that's been rated EF2. We even had baseball-size hail. But if we take a look at Florida right now, you don't see any of the cloud-to-ground lightning bolts that would show up on here. And so most of your showers, a few that have passed beyond the Keys. The other area that I'm taking a look at is occasionally we're seeing some lightning bolts in these storms that are out over the Gulf Stream. They might be able to get with a coastal front into the areas right along the North Carolina coast as the upper air forcing and the surface low of Jonas come that way. So be on the lookout there in the coastal parts of the Carolinas this evening. Not out of the question that a tornado will push on shore, but for the most part, it's going to be the winter side of Jonas that's going to be a problem. Stay tuned.
These little guys, they represent blood cells. And if you have AFib, an irregular heartbeat that may put you at 5 times greater risk of stroke, they can pool together in the heart, forming a clot that can break free and travel upstream to the brain, where it can block blood flow and cause a stroke. But if you have AFib that's not caused by a heart valve problem, Pradaxa can help stop clots from forming. Pradaxa was even proven superior to warfarin at reducing the risk of stroke in a clinical trial without the need for regular blood tests. And in the rare event of an emergency, Pradaxa is the only oral blood thinner other than warfarin with a specific reversal treatment to help your body clot normally again.
Pradaxa is not for people who have had a heart valve replacement. Don't stop taking Pradaxa without talking to your doctor. Stopping increases your risk of stroke or blood clots. Ask your doctor if you need to stop Pradaxa before any planned medical or dental procedure. Pradaxa can cause serious and sometimes fatal bleeding. Don't take Pradaxa if you have abnormal bleeding, and seek immediate medical care for unexpected signs of bleeding like unusual bruising. Pradaxa may increase your bleeding risk if you're 75 or older, have kidney problems, stomach ulcers, a bleeding condition, or take certain medicines. Side effects with Pradaxa can include indigestion, stomach pain, upset, or burning.
Don't just go with the flow. Go with Pradaxa, the only blood thinner that lowers your risk of stroke better than warfarin and has a specific reversal treatment. Talk to your doctor about Pradaxa today.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow!
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do, drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
If you have high blood pressure like I do, many cold medicines may raise your blood pressure. That's why there's Coricidin HBP. It relieves cold symptoms without raising blood pressure. So look for powerful cold medicine with the heart. Coricidin HBP.
This just got interesting. Why pause to take a pill? Or stop to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is approved to treat both erectile dysfunction and the urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis and a $200 savings card.
What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in, and boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend.
Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground, Geek Nights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees with rainy conditions. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 55. Chance of rain, 80%. Saturday, partly cloudy and windy, high 62. Winds could occasionally gust over 50 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies, low 41. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by Beltone.
Beltone is conducting a new trial on innovative hearing technology. You will be asked to evaluate a remarkable product that's virtually invisible. Call 1-800-BELTONE.
We're going to watch this storm really unfold this afternoon for us in a big way of big-time snowfall totals.
Tracking the traffic nightmare really still unfolding in Nashville after a morning of heavy snowfall.
How are the roads out there?
Honestly, Paul, they're a lot worse than I expected. I think the fact that we've seen more sleet than freezing rain is good for the trees and power lines, but it's made the roads a lot worse.
We're watching the snow close in on the D.C. area, and the radar's picking it up.
A mixed bag of everything because of Winter Storm Jonas.
All of this beach expected to be covered with water by Saturday morning.
We have so much of this to go.
See all those people? We got a team in place.
We do. And they're going to be there all weekend.
Right. We're pulling all-nighters, early mornings, afternoons. We got you covered.
Yeah, this is a place for information on blockbuster Winter Storm Jonas. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We thank you for joining us. You know, we've got evacuations underway right now, courtesy of Jonas, happening along the Jersey Shore. Officers are going door to door in Barnegat.
Yeah, the concern is the flood threat here. Storm surge is the issue. So some portions of the Jersey Shore could see wind gusts at 50 miles an hour and up to 2 high tides during the worst part of the storm. That means the Atlantic Ocean will be moving in to Barnegat, New Jersey.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to Michael Lowry, our storm surge specialist. You know, I was talking to him before the show, and he said even into Sunday morning, we'll have to watch that high tide cycle. Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, we could see moderate to major coastal flood.
Right, the next 48 hours, critical. So let's bring in Jim Cantore. He is making, Sam.
We got to bring Sam first.
Sam
He's in New York. And then we'll go southward to Jim in D.C. But Sam, you know, we haven't seen the snow yet in New York City, but everybody, I would imagine, they're getting ready for it. It's a talker.
Yeah, we're standing here on Columbus Circle. You're absolutely right, Alex. And as everybody walks by, it's the one thing everybody's stopping by to ask, because remember, New York was the wiggle room area. Everybody was secure with the totals for exactly the center of this storm, where it was going to hit, who was going to get what, except for this area: New Jersey, New York, Long Island, Connecticut, a little bit of Rhode Island, also to Massachusetts. It was always, there's a quick drop off as you start to work north. And the fear was this storm wouldn't move north and they would hit dry air very quickly. And this place would end up with just 6 to 8 inches of snow. That was the conversation for a good part of the week. Now it looks like what was blocking the system from moving the north is relaxed a little bit. It itself is retreating north. This storm will continue a northward pattern. And so the snowfall totals for this area and all the areas I just mentioned into southern New England will also expand. Let's get Jim Cantore into Washington, because Jim, I really want to have a conversation with you. I miss this, my friend. I miss this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about now.
Me too.
This low beginning to move a little bit further north, and how we're expanding the totals, and we now have New York and Long Island and even some places in coastal Connecticut and Rhode Island in this area of 12 to 18 inches of snow.
Yeah, and I mean, if you looked at the preferred tracks of the low pressure system last night, Sam, before I went to bed, I looked at that. They were all over the place. They could have been anywhere from off the Jersey Shore to on Long Island. So the models were having a tough time, even as of this morning, deciphering that. Now, like you said, they are bringing them closer to the northeast coast, closer to the benchmark, which usually signifies a pretty significant snow event. That said, there's still going to be a sharp cutoff. where's the gradient going to line up? Is it just going to shift to the north now? So instead of being, if you will, in the 3-inch to 6-inch gradient in New Haven or Bridgeport, now you're in the 6 to 10-inch gradient of snow. So everything has shifted north. This obviously puts a large population, like you said, in play. New York City, the New England Thruway as well. We saw blizzard warnings come up now for Nantucket. So, everything has kind of pushed its way to the north, and that means all the worst conditions of the storm are also going to do the same.
Yeah, exactly, Jim. Now I want to ask something else more toned to your area. This is a dangerous category snowstorm, and I'm not sure that we've spent enough time telling people that this is life-threatening should they be out in the worst of this storm. You're all right, sir. You're all right. There's going to be 2 rounds of snow. One coming tonight, certainly, and then we've got this big line that'll be the blizzard conditions. Let's just talk about what you feel like conditions will be and how widespread this will be.
Well, I mean, right now, this is nothing that we can't deal with. I think plows, this is a kind of, I would call, light to moderate snow on average. You can see behind me here, you can see kind of the dimness of the trees, the lights showing up. By the time we're in the worst of this, Sam, it's going to be hard to stand out here. All right, it's going to be hard, to not have snow blowing up in my face and reduce visibilities. It's also going to add up very quickly. We're going to see 2, 3, 4 inches an hour, which is going to be pretty much something that even the road crews can't handle. I mean, that's a phenomenal amount of snow, and that's the kind of snow that'll be coming down here. When does that happen? Probably sometime around midnight or thereafter, I think, for DC, and then going right through the morning. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very confident we are going to see convective snow here. We will have several states that will deal with thunder and lightning and snow as we go through the morning hours, and we know that is associated with not only a thrill for Jim Cantore, but also prolific snowfall rates. 3, 4, 5 inches an hour.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you.
And my biggest concern is, no, go ahead, Jim.
No, I say I got to be honest with you. I mean, it is. It's thrilling to be in that kind of power. But that's the potential of this kind of storm. It's going to happen in New Jersey. It's going to happen in Pennsylvania. It's going to happen in Maryland. It's going to happen in Virginia here. So that's what we need. The good news is, Sam, it's happening overnight and tomorrow morning. I mean, people are going to get up tomorrow morning. They're going to look out and they're going to be like, whoa, I think I'm going to hunker down through here. So really, timing on this could not be better. It could not be better for what we really want people to do, I think.
I agree with you. I think this is good timing to keep people safe. Just please listen to what we're saying and do not get out tonight. Anywhere from that northern Virginia through West Virginia, all the way up into the coastal areas of Rhode Island, do not get on the roads overnight tonight. I don't want you to get stuck. We don't want to be reporting about it. Jim, let's talk a little bit about the winds. Let's show you the current winds right now. We're going to have some driving hardcore winds. We're talking about blizzard conditions. Everybody knows that's steady 35 mile an hour plus for at least 3 hours. We've got some light winds right now, but this storm will deepen, and it will deepen overnight.
Yeah, and you guys, I cannot tell you how important what's going to be happening on the Jersey Shore is. This is not going to be Sandy, but those 2 high tide cycles that we're going to be looking at tomorrow and then again on Sunday are very important because the water is going to come in. We can't stop that. Whether you're on the roads or not is irrelevant. The water is still going to be coming in. So, Sam, that is going to be a big issue here with this storm. And you add that with the gusts, 50, 60 miles per hour, and people are going to lose power there as well. All right, guys, thanks for the discussion, Sam. I appreciate that. Let's go back to Dave and Alex in the studio.
All right, thank you guys so much. I want to give you the latest on what we know right now. We've got 81 million people under winter weather alerts. This across 23 states, 3,600 U.S. flights plus canceled into the weekend.
Wow, 125,000 people without power tonight, and it's cold out there. 10 storm-related deaths so far reported this week. Yeah. Well, Winter Storm Jonas is not only packing a big winter punch on land.
We've been talking about the coastal concerns as well. Those living along the coast that were hit hard by Sandy, they will feel this storm's impacts as well. We're going to talk more about winds that could gust 55 miles an hour or more and coastal flooding, the areas most at risk, coming up next.
Imagine the Atlantic Ocean in your neighborhood. Winter Storm Jonas.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees with rainy conditions. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 55. Chance of rain, 80%. Saturday, partly cloudy and windy, high 62. Winds could occasionally gust over 50 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies, low 41. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Jet.com is here. The smart way to save on pretty much anything. It's the biggest thing in shopping since... Where's the money? Cash registers. Sorcery. With Jet.com, you can save on pretty much anything. It's the biggest thing in shopping since shopping.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow!
Growing up, we were German. We danced in a German dance group. I wore lederhosen. When I first got on Ancestry, I was really surprised that I wasn't finding all of these Germans in my tree. I decided to have my DNA tested through Ancestry DNA. The big surprise was we're not German at all. 52% of my DNA comes from Scotland and Ireland. So I traded in my lederhosen for a kilt.
Ancestry has many paths to discovering your story. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
When you're living with diabetes, steady is exciting. Only Glucerna has Carb Steady, clinically proven to help minimize blood sugar spikes, so you stay steady ahead.
At the Joseph A. Bank Buy More, Save More sale, get up to 75% off all suits and sport coats when you buy 3, including traveler suits now $199 each when you buy 3. Plus, take an extra 50% off most clearance. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
James drove his RAV4 hybrid into the frozen wilderness. The scent of his jerky attracted a hungry wolf pack behind him. To survive, he had to remain fearless. He would hunt with them and expand their territory. He'd form a bond with a wolf named Acalia, become den mother, and nurse their young. James left in search of his next adventure. How far will you take the all-new RAV4 hybrid? Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I will be out of the office until Monday and won't be checking voicemail during this time. I'll reply just as soon as I get back to work.
Sail with Princess Cruises, the #1 cruise line in Alaska. Limited Alaska fares from $6.99. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises, come back new.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
We've got Allstate, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, I found this new thing called
Allstate Quick Photo Claim.
It's an app. You understand that. Just take photos of the damage with your phone and upload them to Allstate.
Really?
So you get a
quicker estimate, quicker payment,
quicker back to normal.
I just did it. But maybe you can find an app that will help you explain this to your father.
Quick photo claims. Just another way Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Road crews in Kentucky are working hard and no doubt working overtime, too.
That's time and a half, though, so there's some good news. Hey, snow falling fast, roads treacherous. This is the western part of the state of Kentucky where the snow has been accumulating on those roads. So you see this one hasn't been plowed yet, but the snowmobiles, they say, hey, we can get, or I guess this is a 4-wheeler. He says, I can get through, no problem.
Yeah.
I got
this. I see, though, the snow has ended. This is Paducah area in McCracken County. Sam Champion's hometown, by the way. And we got some snow here. Snow as far south as Mississippi, as far west as Arkansas this morning. Now this whole storm is moving eastward.
Yeah, we've got a lot of places to watch into the weekend, so the snow continuing to add up. Right. Some places have already seen 1.5 feet of snow or more, but we've got to talk about what's to come. And storm specialist Carl Parker is going to break that down.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, pretty amazing. We've had 1 foot of snow already in southwestern Virginia, and that's with about 1/2 of a day's worth of snow. And we've got another 24 hours to go in those areas. So we could easily get 3 feet or more by the time it's all said and done. Look at the size of this storm, an absolutely enormous storm covering the eastern third of the U.S. Upper low right in there, and the surface low is developing in South Carolina. That's going to head north, and that's ultimately going to take aim on that northeast corridor with blizzard conditions and very heavy snowfall rates. There's the surface low pressure developing near South Carolina right in here, and already we've got plenty of snow spreading up into the mid-Atlantic region. We've had as much as 15 to 18 inches in parts of Kentucky. Snow circling around Nashville right now is nearly 10 inches there. Snow's getting ready to come into the Atlanta metro. We've had little bits of snow already, and then you see the heavy snow here in southwestern parts of Virginia. A lot of moisture now streaming up from the south, and that's only going to pick up in intensity. There is a look at D.C., where we've got moderate snow right now, Reagan National as well as BWI, and also at Dulles Airport. And the snowfall rates, once again, really coming up, we think, overnight tonight. So here is the model forecast. I want you to really pay attention to the areas that are darker. These are these mesoscale banding features with which we'll see snowfall rates of 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 inches per hour. And at the same time, the winds are going to be increasing, getting up to 30, 35, maybe 40 miles per hour sustained, especially east of 95. So when you're talking about those types of conditions with those snowfall rates, that's really life-threatening weather. You do not want to be out in this tonight. This is looking at midnight tonight, and that's going to continue in D.C. right into tomorrow morning. It will work up into southern parts of Pennsylvania, the lower Susquehanna Valley, as well as the Philly metro, and also start coming into New York City. You notice here, very sharp cutoff in the southeastern part of the D.C. metro area, where we go from snow to sleet to freezing rain to rain, and that's really going to bring those totals down as you move into southeastern Maryland. And then here, going into 1:30 on Saturday, snow coming down in earnest across the 95 corridor, Philly to New York, still going on there in D.C., and really doesn't wind down in Maryland and Virginia until we get into Sunday afternoon. So all told, we are talking about more than a couple of feet of additional snowfall there in central parts of Virginia. Also, a lot of problems on the coast, and here's Michael Lowry with more on that.
Yeah, that's right, Carl. It doesn't take a hurricane in some cases to cause coastal flooding. And when I'm on, you either know it's hurricane season or there's a doozy of a coastal storm. And we have one shaping up here off the coast of the Carolinas. Speaking of the winds, just looking at some of the reports just offshore the Carolinas, near 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts already with this powerful storm as it really takes shape here off the coast. And it's the winds that are causing the problems, or that will cause the problems here along the coast. Time this out for you. Going from today into tomorrow, it's really tomorrow into Sunday that we're looking for the major coastal events here. The impacts on the north side of this, the winds are pointing right on shore, and it's that strong wind pointed at the shore that's going to be pushing water toward the coast of the mid-Atlantic. So anywhere from really northern coastal Maryland up through New Jersey, with a bullseye there on coastal Delaware, that's where I'm expecting the moderate to major coastal flooding. Looking at this map here, maybe seeing some minor impacts down there in the lower Chesapeake Bay, and some minor to moderate impacts north of Atlantic City and Seaside Heights. But the focus, again, Dave and Alex, is going to be there on the Jersey coast and into the Delaware Bay. Back to you.
I like it, Michael. You know I'm here because it's hurricane season, or we got something going on.
Well, we do have something going on, and its name is Jonas.
We've got your winter weather update coming up after the break, but first we want to show you Nashville's airport earlier today. They had to work hard to clear those wintry runways.
Direct from our imagination. The all-new Civic from Honda.
You
want to see something intense? New Pantene Expert gives you the most beautiful hair ever with our strongest Pro V formula ever. Strong is beautiful.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week, AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
Let me get you ready for the day weather-wise.
We've got a lot going on this morning.
Definitely see what kind of pattern we've had.
So start your morning routine with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, Jan Carfagna, and the rest of AMHQ.
It is a team here at the Weather Channel, and an awesome team at that.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees with rainy conditions. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 55. Chance of rain, 80%. Saturday, partly cloudy and windy. High 62. Winds could occasionally gust over 50 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies. Low 41. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Never.
Guaranteed. You picked a beautiful ring. Thank you. We're never having kids.
Breathe.
A little bit here. We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
At the Joseph A. Bank Buy More, Save More sale, get up to 75% off all suits and sport coats when you buy 3, including traveler suits now $199 each when you buy 3. Plus, take an extra 50% off most clearance. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow!
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Sure, TV has evolved over the years. It's gotten squarer, brighter, bigger, thinner, even curvier. But what's next? For all binge watchers, movie geeks, sports freaks, X1 will change the way you experience TV. Call and switch to X1 from Xfinity today.
It took dozens of prototypes, hundreds of crash simulations, thousands of hours of painstaking craftsmanship, and an infinite reserve of patience to create a vehicle that looks, drives, and thinks like nothing else on the road. The all-new GLC, the SUV the world has been waiting for.
Visit Mercedes-Benz of North Palm Beach today, between PGA Boulevard and North Lake on alternate A1A.
979.
When the weather turns serious, the first thing I'm thinking is, how do I communicate the message very clearly to people so they understand what the risk is and how to get through this?
Snow or no snow, practice must go on. Members of the Carolina Panthers hit a very snowy practice field today in Charlotte.
Yeah, they are gearing up for Sunday's NFC Championship game against the Arizona Cardinals. This is going to take place in Charlotte on Sunday, assuming the Arizona Cardinals can get there.
And assuming the power is still on. You know, a lot of that, what was on the ground, was freezing rain and sleet.
Yeah. And that could be
frozen.
Really a huge problem. Now, the weather for the game itself looks fine, but as you said, just a matter of if road conditions and if power is going to participate.
Oh, the storm will be out of there Saturday afternoon, so Sunday looks good.
All right, here's your winter weather update. We are 53 minutes past the hour, and we've got winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, and blizzard warnings everywhere.
Mississippi, Alabama, all the way to Massachusetts. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, close your eyes and point.
Really,
and you're pretty much going to
it.
hit something.
Yeah.
Here's what's going on the radar. We've seen some of that heaviest snow. I don't say Richmond, Virginia, back into parts of West Virginia and Kentucky. Also right around the Roanoke area.
Yeah.
Even a few lightning strikes. You see that? So they've just heard some thunder snow.
A lot of snow here in Kentucky. Some places nearly 1.5 feet at this point. Yeah. And the storm itself is now becoming a coastal storm. That's what all that is about.
And this is going to be riding up to the north. I should have said that was right along the Virginia North Carolina state line for the thunder snow. Parts of Delaware now beginning to see the snow. Maryland as well.
Absolutely. Even Atlanta could see some snow. Actually, we did have some snow showers earlier as some of these convective bursts brought down precipitation heavy enough to cool the entire atmosphere down so that some of these snowflakes could make it to the ground. But there's more for Atlanta later tonight.
Right. We're
right
watch
now,
that.
mid to upper 30s, you're okay on the roads, but later tonight, it's going to be a problem.
That was nice, though, for the kids to go outside and catch some snowflakes on their tongue. Roanoke, you're about to see that snow really increase in intensity. Much of the state of West Virginia dealing with snow, and as I mentioned, Richmond in the thick of things.
They've got 5 on the ground now, Richmond.
Down to Norfolk, that's where we've got that wintry mix, even some rain closer to the far southeastern tip of Virginia.
And the snow is growing closer to your hometown, right? Near Allentown. Philadelphia is still cloudy, but some light snow is about to begin here momentarily. And in New York, it'll be several more hours.
So my mom, Chris Wilson, said, Alex, when is the snow going to start? Soon. Soon, Mom. It's coming. Don't worry about it. Baltimore, you've got the snow. Wilmington, North Carolina, going to begin to see Wilmington, Delaware, I should say, beginning to see the snow soon.
Yeah, not quite Wilmington, North Carolina, but still, it's pretty good. It's a cold rain
close,
down there. Yeah.
Ooh, and that in some cases, isn't that just as bad as snow?
Yeah. So we want you to stay in from North Carolina all the way up into New York City tomorrow. Forget about it. Just stay in, tune in the Weather Channel, watch a football game, have some hot chocolate, and stay warm and dry.
We are going to be here to keep you posted. 2 feet to 3 feet into parts of Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia.
Epic and historic.
And the ice could be a big problem, too.
Ice.
Watching parts of southeast Virginia for that threat, a half an inch to
I-85, what a headache, huh?
Yeah, nuts.
Well, the flight board tells the tale of a big impact from Jonas. Even at airports where there is no snow, you're seeing cancellations. Well, this is DFW International in Dallas. So many flights have been canceled nationwide that lines are long. People are trying to book new flights where they can. Jonas is causing some big travel problems, Alex.
Lots of cancellations. How about in excess of 6,000 cancellations already due to this storm? Almost 800 at Charlotte Douglas International.
Have you ever been caught in an airport for hours and hours and hours? You're standing in this line and you're moving there. We've canceled it. We've moved it to get.
Don't even put yourself in this scenario.
Yeah.
Check on the status of that flight before you even go to the airport, because in a lot of cases they're not taking off. And don't put yourself on the roads either, because have you ever sat on a roadway for hours and hours because there's nowhere to go?
Yes, I have.
And it's miserable, right? I was on one for 9 hours.
9 hours.
Terrible.
Awful.
So don't do it, because that was a non-snowy day and it was miserable. I mean, it's cold, it's snowy. You're not going to be able to get out of your car and walk around.
It's windy. It's going to be a blizzard here up toward Elkton, Maryland, over to Wilmington, and then Philadelphia. Same problem.
Yeah.
Later tonight and tomorrow, wind and snow like you haven't seen for years.
So look at that. Tomorrow morning into early p.m. for Philly and Wilmington. Just don't go out there.
And now New York. New York City under a blizzard warning.
Hopefully you're stocked up on your tasty cakes and your pizza and whatever else you want to have.
No problem. Hey, no matter what curves this potential winter storm throws at you, we want you to know one thing.
We have you covered in a big way. You can stay ahead of Winter Storm Jonas on our air, online, on mobile devices. 1 minute away, Weather Underground continues. We've got all day, all night coverage through late Sunday.
Currently in our area, 66 degrees with light rain. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 55. Chance of rain, 80%. Saturday, partly cloudy and windy, high 62. Winds could occasionally gust over 50 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies, low 41. Here's our 7-day outlook.